think it's that way, but we can see.
No, nothing got moved. It's because the couch is this way.
Okay.
I was looking at that one because you see the angle of the thrones, how they're V. So to be square, that's got to be offset. Because I went through it, I was like, this isn't right. What's going on? Court. And then I'm going to basically MC for you to introduce you. Okay?
Okay.
And then you'll go ahead.
All right.
Here opens the court of the Royal Majesties, Felix and Madalena, this 29th day of August, being the feast day of Saint Sabina, Anno Societatis 55, while seated in their shire of Swordcliffe.
Well, hello, Midrealm. We're glad that you could join us on this beautiful summer day here in our shire. Hopefully you are getting sunshine as well. We're really excited about today. And today is going to be a little bit different court because we're going to have a lot of performances, and we're going to give out some recognition to some people that worked very hard over the last several months, obtaining a very difficult and worthy thing. So we'll let Her Majesty kick things off.
I promise Shenanigans. And there has been a group that since GoForce has been a part of Shenanigans and has been just wonderful at keeping spirits up and assisting activity in their community. And it's the GoForce that was an equestrian community. And they have inspired me, and I have had so much fun. And their latest competition was just near and dear to my heart. It was hilarious. It was barding on whatever animal you choose. And I did have a little horse and I participated a little just because that's so much fun. But I wanted to just give the people who participated in that particular challenge and that particular community, just in general, a big old shout out, because I think you all are wonderful. Thank you for keeping our spirits up and high and doing fun things that bring us in together as a community, especially for the equestrian community, which we love to spotlight anyway. So a couple people have been vital in doing that. Katja Baruska is the one, I believe, that came up with that particular challenge and has been leading the charge along with our own equestrian champion.
Leading the charge, you talk about my jokes. Leading the charge, really? Really? I got better jokes than that.
I was trying to slide that right in. But our own Baroness Kamara, or Cope, as we all know and love her, has also been just going ahead and raising spirits. So Katja had a wonderful idea with the barding, and then Her Excellency came in and did a great barding on magic. And then Sahilda Barnuler came in with Chewy, and Chewy is her little puppy, and she did a mid-round barding. It was fantastic out of toilet paper. And then I got to declare the winner, and this one just was awesome. Go out to this Facebook page and look, and maybe we can post some pictures of this too. But the winner of this particular challenge was the Honorable Lady Geneva de Saint Martin on red, and she had this lovely red, was completely covered in lovely cutout barding, and it was wonderful with her rug. And so, Honorable Lady Geneva,
Oh no.
you win the toilet paper award and some other fantastic award prizes for that. But thank you so much for keeping all of our spirits up.
I'm sorry, Midrealm.
Thank you so much to that community and those individuals today for helping participate in fun shenanigans.
All right.
Yasha.
Yasha.
All right, Harold, save us. It's the first piece of business and we're already in trouble.
Their Majesties would summon into their court the Honorable Lord Oswin of Baden.
How are you? It's good to see you.
I'm fine, Your Majesties. Thank you very much.
You look well. I believe you have an announcement for us?
I do. As the Midrealm should know, and Your Majesty certainly do, we have been running RUM since March. For the first several months, daily classes, and then since then, 4 times a week, 3 weeks a month. We have presented over 120 hours of instruction to over 1,000 participants, both Midrealmers and throughout the known world. In that time, many people have earned their degrees, and I would like to clear this list out before it gets way too long.
I am so happy to be able to give you that opportunity right now.
Thank you, Your Majesties. So we'll start with the lector degree. This is the beginning teaching degree. Requires 15 hours of instruction for this particular degree. In the interest of brevity, I will leave off the College of Emphasis. Many degrees come with that. So Elizabeth Alves, Hilary of Langford, Louise Xavier de Navarre, Nicola Bartolazzi, and myself are all ready to be awarded the lector degree for their teaching efforts. The student degrees are next. I will point out, we have no one eligible for the academician, which is the highest level teaching degree yet. Several were very close, and I'm sure when we do this again in the fall, they will have those degrees. So the student degrees. The licentiate degree is the earliest student degree, requiring 15 hours of instruction. And those are awarded to Adelicia Marie d'Argent, Amélie d'Anjou, Artemisia Volterra, Branwen Scholastica, Breezy Thorgrimson, Vegeta Alderati, Clara Vanderbroek, Corsand of Star Hill, Eleanor von Atzinger, Elizabetha Fischer, Elizabeth Alwis, Finn O'Mara, excuse me, Gwyneth Hilder, Hilary of Langford, Isabella Cantor, Kadrin the Red, Kuala bint Yaha bin Hassan, Krimholt von Edersberg, Louis Xavier de Navarre, Lynn Fairchild, Maggie O'Donnell, Marquetta Zipraz, Nicholas Jean de Carcassonne, Odette Dembozi, Oswin of Beta, Rosen de Berg, Rosa Rossini, Shahzad Ifahani, Siobhan and Anik of Konak, Zvana Zwalinger, Thorin Iversdottir, and Tommaso Franchetti. So congratulations on those beginning degrees. Next are our graduate degrees. This is the mid-level student degree requiring 30 hours of instruction. Adelisa Marie Dargent, Arwen Triona Caradwin O. Wyndham, Bijen van der Stern, Brice Thorgrimson, Clara van de Broek, Finn O'Mara, Hilary of Langford, Azumo Tojome. I should know how to say my own student's name. Lynn Fairchild, Kadrin the Red, Odette Demboisi, Siobhan of Enoch of Connacht, Thorin Iversdottir, and Tommaso Franceschi again. And then lastly, our adept degree, the highest level student degree, requiring 55 hours of instruction.
I'm sorry, say that again. How many hours?
55.
Wow.
Aveline de Chersbroek, Bijen van der Stern, Clara van den Broek, Elizabeth Alworth, Finn O'Mara, Odette Mboise, Siobhan, and Tommaso Franchetti. You will notice I said the names of several people 3 times throughout the degrees. These are our hat trick people. They've taken the lot across the board, and congratulations to all of them. I do want to point out in specific, Finn O'Mara is from Locock and has earned her 3 degrees from RUM in these 1 sessions. We will get the paper degrees made up, but we'll wait until we are in person. And for those who are out of Kingdom, we will make alternative arrangements when the time is right. But rest assured, your degrees will be coming to you at some point in the future. Thank you, Your
That
Honor.
is just
Aslan,
amazing.
I wanted to, before you go, Aslan, I wanted to comment on a couple things, and if you have any retorts, obviously we'd love to hear. So the first question, do we have a projected date that we will start these classes up again in the fall, or do we have an idea, not an exact date, but a general time frame?
Well, we are continuing to go forward. So September has already been logged on the RUM site. October, we're hoping to plan on performing arts as a focus, and we've got people working on that. November, we're going to go through November, but past November hasn't been decided 100% whether we're doing that. And then in November, I would like to have another graduation.
Excellent. That's a Herculean effort that, I know a lot of people have contributed to this, and we appreciate you helping lead the charge on this. See, I said that and that wasn't a equestrian reference. However, I also wanted to point out, I noticed, because I don't know all of these individuals, but I know many of the names that you spoke of. And what's really interesting is we have all different levels of accomplishment within this society. So we have peers, still doing this, and we have people that are striving for excellence and just looking to share their knowledge, if you will. And that's really inspiring. And that's one of the wonderful things about the SCA. And I think that this particular activity has inspired so many across the SCA. Just like you said, it's not just the Midrealm. It makes me proud to be the sovereign of this kingdom, because so many people look to us for resources and inspiration. And it's not us. It's all of you out there doing the hard things and the kind things that you continue to do. So I'm just really excited, and sorry if I'm rambling a bit. It's just because I'm really excited and I'm so proud. Our
kingdom has built a wonderful community, And we so appreciate you and all of you being a part of that.
So thank you for that. Normally we wouldn't be around for this November graduation, but this time we will. So we look forward to that. And we're just really excited for what's to come. Thank you.
As you said, it is my staff that really makes this happen. I'm just the guy facilitating it. So deans
Well done.
and my vice chancellor, thank you very much for making this happen.
Well done, Osmond. Thank you. You have our leave to go.
Yasha.
Thank you very much.
Let the Herald say that.
I want to say it.
Well, you can after the Herald.
For the Rum community and all those who earn degrees, Yasha.
Huzzah! Oh, yesha. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Yasha. Go ahead.
What is our next order of business?
Well, it'd probably be me going to the woodshed, probably with our next piece of business in. Let's have a performance by our champion.
Hello, good champion.
Hello, Your Majesties, and good afternoon to everyone and all the members of the populace.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you as well. I brought some friends with me. Now, I know you summoned Eleanor von Atzinger specifically, but Eleanor and I are desperately in love with our husbands, so we decided to get them involved too, if that's okay.
Excellent. No, the more the merrier. It's going to be great.
Wonderful. Well, may we take it away?
Please, go ahead.
1, 2, 3. Regina
Well done, the four of you. Your ladyship, I noticed your sleeves as you have a good sense of humor. Have you noticed we're Florida? I believe we're Florida Lee buddies. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. So well done, the four of you. You were so talented, especially Sir Cedric in the background. You made the performance good, sir. Yeah, so we'll be hearing from you again here shortly to introduce the future performances we have. Thank you. You have brought great joy to my heart. I don't know, did she help?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh my.
Harold, what's next?
Their Majesties would summon into their court the Honorable Lord Roderick Hart and the Honorable Lord Armand de Chartres.
So your lordships, Roderick, you have devised a quest, a pilgrimage for it's taken off apparently. So why don't you tell us about it and give people details and how they can participate?
So definitely, when Your Majesties gave me the quest to find a worthy pilgrimage of Her Majesty, and Her Majesty told me that she was in love with the Ottoman Empire, I decided to jump headfirst in and see what I could find. And after, traveling across the seas and going through all the lands, I came across the Haseki Hurrem Sultan. And if there's ever a woman in history that reminds me of Her Majesty, it's her. She changed the course of the Ottoman Empire. People stood against her. She had none of it. And she pretty much directed the Ottoman Empire to a foundation of where it was today. And so I said, hey, I want to really build something around her to kind of honor not only her existence and honor everything she's given us today in history, but something that would explore the entire empire and kind of get everybody involved. So I decided to put together the pilgrimage of Husky Haram Sultan. It's going to start in Bursa, Turkey. And I chose that because there's an ancient silk market there called the Kozahan. And I figure if anybody in the Midrealm loves anything, it's silk. And so why not start there? And then cross the empire to Izmit. There's a beautiful mosque there. And then come all the way across back to the Kami complex, which is a series of religious buildings and mosques that was actually built in her honor. I thought that was a nice roundabout way to do that. And one of the things that I really worked hard to do, as I know His Majesty likes to conquer mountains and things of that nature in the world, I said, you know, I want this to be something that can be capable of being done right now. So I weighed the idea of doing modern roads or doing kind of a modern roads versus period roads. And I talked to a couple of friends, I sought out the sages, and we decided to use a hiking app where you can actually hike the actual route that we have. You can actually hike it today. So it's rated as difficult, but I figured that would be quite fitting. So it's 170 miles. And I figured we're going to break that down because I know right now in the times of quarantine, a lot of people, you know, are feeling alone. And I really wanted to show that we're not alone, especially here in the Midrealm. And that sense of unity has gone so far beyond that. We started out a small group and I had people coming in, and now we have people going, hey, do I have to be in Kingdom to participate? Of course not. You know, we're taking everybody in the known world. I don't care where you're from. If you're in Antarctica, please bundle up, come on the trip with us. We'll be happy to do it. And I wanted to make it as inclusive as possible. So not only do I want to build physical fitness with everyone here, but I also thought, hey, we're not having live practices. This is the perfect time to build some skill. And so we've really opened it up to where it's going to be including hiking, swimming, walking, skating, rowing. And we've also included hours of equestrian, archery, thrown weapons, pell work. There's pretty much something for everybody here. So if you want to get out and get physically active, build some strength, build some stamina, build some skill, and come back and really show what it is to be a person of the Midrealm, we've got your number here. We've got a Facebook group. You can look it up, the Pilgrimage of Haseki Haram Sultan. I'm sure I murdered that Turkish, and I'm very apologetic. But look it up. I'll be happy to approve you. It doesn't take too long. And the challenge is great there for everybody. It runs from September 1st, so starting and coming up, and it's going to go all the way to November 30th. We've decided to do kind of a 3-month window there just because that way you don't have to be crazy. So if you're thinking, hey, you know, I'm just starting getting into running, walking, whatever I'm doing, this is perfect for you. This is something that people can achieve. It will be challenging, but it is not out of the ballpark. We're really excited. I mean, we've got over 100 members, and I can tell you, I know we've got, I think Armand has some tokens here coming up, but there will also be a mystery drawing at the end for anybody who achieves the pilgrimage and you complete the pilgrimage. There's going to be a mystery prize that will be randomly drawn from those who have completed it. You got to come in and start because I don't want to reveal what that is. We'll reveal about that about midway through. So kind of that extra push when you find out what that is. But I can tell you it ties directly to the loves of Her Majesty. And so you can't go wrong.
So I just wanted to speak a little bit. So His Lordship Roderick and I, we believe in the body, the mind, and the soul. They're all together. They're all together. And he kind of touched on this a little bit, being isolated. Okay, so there's consequences to that. People have anxiety and depression, and physical activity as well as a regular sleep pattern, and trying to get plenty of water and trying to eat correct. I know it's hard in times like this, and all of these things will help. And so this is why he helped me design this pilgrimage is because we're trying to give you different outlets to cope with what's going on out there on a regular basis, because we can't see the people that we love on a regular basis. We're out of our normal routines. And so we're trying to give people a goal and a little bit of normalcy to their life, a little bit of sense of community. And His Lordship has taken this on, and this is the first of a couple more to come. So like he said, it doesn't matter that if you can't go run a marathon. I know that His Lordship is he's a runner mundanely, but he didn't start out running half marathons and marathons. He started running a half mile. It's just the same thing when I started on my fitness program. They didn't just start doing all that. I didn't just do all of this stuff. It takes time. So don't get down on yourself. This is meant to be a positive thing. And any amount of progress is still progress. Even if you only walk a half a mile or a mile a day, by the end of the week, you'll have walked 5 miles or 7 miles. So it's okay. Even if you skip a day, just remember it's progress. It's something that is not meant to be seen as a detriment if you don't meet your daily goal. You will fail along the way. That's part of it. So thank you.
So deeply honored. And I will say that I've been fighting just along with everybody else. It's been hard. But I'm so looking forward to this and incorporating it into my plan to make sure that I am ready to go and have that great mental mindset. It helps me a lot there. So thank you so much. Now, you said tokens?
Yes, yes. His Lordship Armand has been busy at work. We've been crafty. Your Lordship Roderick, you have our leave to go. Thank you
so
again,
much.
so that we can
Thank you.
take care of His Lordship Armand.
Greetings, Your Majesties.
Greetings! Oh, look at you! You look like you're on Chevauchet! Oh!
Found a hammam!
I figured I'd spend some time exploring my options in the Midrealm Navy. Do you think I got a chance?
Well, careful. You know, I offer you, caution, my friend. We've known each other many years, and I don't want you to get in trouble.
So, not long ago, you asked me to dig into my workshop and see if I could resurrect something that I did for Your Majesties some time ago to create some tokens for this quest. And I've managed to do just that and produce for you, I don't know how well the camera is going to pick it up, the same rings that I made for you years ago.
Well,
and I have the chest of those to pass to you.
oh, well, thank you very much. Let me look at these. Oh, wonderful.
They are
Should we
such
show
fun.
them?
Yeah,
Show
please, model them. Such fun memories.
Well, this is a lovely ring. I don't know where the camera is there. If you can see it, that's a sun. And
His Majesty's
and then
arms.
this is a nose ring to honor Her Majesty. So I'm happy to continue that tradition that Seto provided for the Queen and being a model. Wonderful. So Armand, you've just been such a great friend over. How long have we known each other? Maybe 20 years?
About that, yeah.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah,
more than that.
Really old.
More than that. Oh,
But
so much more than that.
you've always been Her Majesty's friend, and you've been my friend, and you've been our friend, and you've just always are an individual that helps, and we're just grateful for you.
And when we noted that we were going to be talking about the pilgrimage, I gotta say that I was just so touched. Not only did you say immediately yes to making some tokens, but then you said, where do you want me to drive to come meet you? We're 6 hours apart. And my love for you is just so great. I am so lucky to have you and your family in our hearts. And I think our Herald has some words for you.
All gentles and nobility know that we, Felix, King of the Middle Kingdom, and Madalena, our wise queen, have seen and wish to recognize the nobility of spirit we have seen in our subject, Armand de Chartres. We are inspired to be better by his adaptability and his desire to help lift the spirits and burdens of others. Therefore, as it is our privilege as crown, we are pleased to make him a baron of our court. Though this accolade holds no authority or power of command, Armand is to be granted such honor and respect as a person of great worth and courtesy. He shall henceforth be known by his coronet of silver ornamented with 6 pearls.
You got me.
Scroll by Mistress Zainab.
Quite a few of us have conspired to get you.
This was a group effort.
And I so
Oh my-
appreciate
wow.
them.
Oh, excellent. Good. Yes, excellent. And we even got the cornet there. Yes, yes. Thank you.
I love you, my friends. Thank you all for conspiring with us. Thank you for being the inspiration that you are to us. And thank you for being a member of our court. As the Midlands would say, and that's where we are living now, even though we came from Pentamere, we licked ya.
Thank you, Armand.
Thank you.
We love you. You have our leave to
Baron
go.
Armand.
Well done, Your Excellency.
For His Excellency Baron Armand, Yasha.
Yasha.
Honor, I believe that we have another performance.
Some more performance, please.
Yes, Your Majesty. So at your request, I found one of the best musicians that the Midrealm has to offer. The Honorable Lady Dulong Nermak. She is truly a talented individual, but not only that, she's one of the most kind-hearted individuals that our kingdom has to offer as well. She fares from the Barony of the Flame. So Dulong, if you would please entertain us.
You are most gracious for that introduction. I appreciate it. And Your Majesties, I am honored and pleased to come before you today to present to you two tunes which I hope bring you vim and vigor and fire in your hearts, and to that of all the people of the Midrealm. I have two tunes, a medley. The first, Andro, arranged by Micha Gardner of Volgamut, with his permission to perform, and he simply asks that I extend his kindest regards to Your Majesties.
Good man. So
The second tune is one of my own composition, inspired by the courage and tenacity of the people of the dragon, called Vivat Draco.
Well
you. That
done.
was-
Well done. You are so
that was just
talented. You are
amazing.
so talented.
And it's funny how
Thank you,
music
Your
can just
Majesty.
evoke a feeling, and I could feel the sun and smell a little bit of the smoke of Tenzing that always is in the air with the dust. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't realize how much my heart needed that.
You have made our day better. I hope that the rest of the kingdom has reacted in the way that we have. And I'm ready to go beat on my squire. Unfortunately, I can't.
Thank you
But
so much.
thank you very much. You have our leave to go. Oh, I've lost track of things. Where are we at, Harold?
Oh, we are
Oh.
at. Here,
Let the Herald introduce him.
I thought you were going to.
Their Majesties summon into their presence the great, mighty, and oh so powerful dragon wizard, Alex Shazam.
All right.
Shazam!
Hi.
Hi,
Hey,
Alex.
Alex, it's good to see you. So, where are we at? You know, it's kind of been a hard month for the kingdom and for us. So, do we have any? Have you prophesied, or do we have some entertainment today? Where are we at, Alex?
I have some jokes and some magic tricks.
Whoa! So before you tell your jokes, okay, so you can tell me how you want this to go. When you're finished with your jokes, would you like me to tell you a joke back? Because usually like a joke for joke. Like I won't have as many jokes as you because you're way better at jokes than I am. But I'm happy to give you a joke back before you show us some magic. So after you do your jokes, you let me know when you want me to tell a joke, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's have it, Alex.
What do you say to a blacksmith that's angry about a sword breaking? Ooh, timber, timber.
Oh, that was such a good joke. That was a very much a joke that His Majesty appreciates.
Alex, I don't know how many more of these jokes I can take because you almost killed me on that one. So if you have another joke, let's hear it because that one was really good.
But yeah, I'm giving this problem to you right now.
Say it loud.
How about you tell me and the rest of the kingdom a
Oh,
joke?
okay.
Your
So my joke is not as good as yours. It's more of a little bit of a story. So I'll try not to talk too much. So there were 3 knights and a wizard on the top of a tower. Okay. And they were trapped. They couldn't get down. And they say, "Oh, mighty wizard, how do we get off the tower?" And he said, "Well, luckily I'm here. I can save you." And they said, "How, oh great wizard?" They said, "Jump off the tower, and as you're falling, scream a word, and you shall be saved by that item that you scream out." So the first night, she jumps off the tower, and she goes, "Feathers!" And so she lands in a pile of feathers. She's like, "Oh, I'm saved." And so the second night, he said, not being as brave as the first night, he said, "I'll jump." She was saved. So he jumps and he goes, "Pillows!" And he lands in a pile of pillows and he's saved. Now, this last knight, who is called Sir Lily Liver, he's afraid of heights. He's afraid of heights. And so he said, "Well, it worked for them." And he jumps off. And halfway down, he panics and he says, "Oh, crap." What do you think you landed in? All right, that's my joke, Alex. Yeah, that's my joke. And he was saved too. He made it out, just not as nice as the other 2. So that's my joke, Alex.
Okay. That was really good.
Well, thank you.
Well, how do Vikings send secret messages?
I have no idea.
Norse code.
Ah! Norse code. That's great.
That's good.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. All right, Alex, you've been great. You've given us some levity. You've brightened the spirits of the kingdom. We have another joke. Or are we going to go on to some tricks?
I think I have some news. Your army is tired, and I think I know why. Too many bloody days and sleepless nights.
Oh.
No, that's good. That's good. That's really good. That's good. All right, kill me some more, Alex. Slay me. Just tear me up. What else we got?
I have tricks if you'd like them.
Oh, well, we love magic. Everybody loves magic.
Shazam us.
Okay. You see this pot? It's an ordinary pot. I am going to make a flower appear in it with this wand. And it's one of the new ones, not one of the good ones. All right. I'm going to make a flower appear. What? I said I'm going to make a flower appear. Is this thing on? Come on. Come on. Shazam!
Man, that is some world-class wizarding right there, Alex. That is some world-class wizarding. The East Kingdom has no hope against us ever with guys like you.
Okay. Now, some people use Wonder Grow, but I use Magic Grow. Quicker results and no need of dirt.
Well done, Alex Shazam.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh. All right. What else you got for us? Are we got another trick?
Yeah. I am going to turn this ordinary card into thirds and then back again.
Thirds.
This is an ordinary frame and an ordinary card. And now,
Hold on a second. Wait. Keep talking. There we go.
putting it in, flying it in. Alex Shazam!
Wow.
Hey, if I give you gold, can you do that? Can you make more?
I'm sure if you gave him the gold, he
Cut it in half.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair enough.
But then it would be kind of
Fair enough, Alex. Fair enough. That was really amazing. Well done.
I'm gonna do more. Okay.
Oh.
Alex Shazam!
No way! That is
is
unreal, Alex. That is so
Even
amazing.
though I can't drop the mic, so I'll drop the card. And I'm picking it back up again. Because I got one more. I can see the future in a yes or no question, if you would like.
absolutely yes.
With
please.
my obsidian orb of my age.
Are you gonna ask
Your
me
age.
yes or no?
You asked
I
the question. I think I asked last time.
No, I did. I asked if we were gonna
All
win
right.
Pendant War, and you said
Oh.
yeah.
All right. So yes or no question.
Recently in court, Alex, I don't know if you paid attention, Her Majesty tried to poke my eye out. Okay? And she tried to commit regicide. So I'm not sure. While I love her very much, I'm still not sure if she's trying to get me off the throne and just take over. So is the queen trying to kill the king and take over?
Let's see. Is this thing on? Outlook not so good.
Oh, but you said I can always change my future the last time is what you said. You said I can always change my future. Is that right?
Yep.
All right, good. You're getting a reprieve. Alex, I appreciate you looking out for the king. When I need you to keep an eye on this one right here for me, okay? Can you do that for me?
Yeah, you can ask 2 more questions.
Two more questions. I asked one, so you asked one.
Is it possible that His Majesty might accidentally trip and fall into the lake?
With Calic's help. With Duke Calic's help.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. All right. We'll ask not necessarily such a morbid question.
You can change your future.
All right.
You can change
Yes,
your future.
it's called locking you in the dungeon. Is what it's called. Alex, should people do more arts and sciences?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
All right, Alex. Thank you. I always appreciate having
I
you.
said no. I'd still say yes.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
man.
wizard.
That-
Alex Shazam.
Alex, that's called managing
I mean,
up. Ask your mom and dad about that. It's
I'm
called managing up.
Predicting in the future that you're gonna ask me about new square future telling devices.
Yeah,
Oh.
listen. I've been hearing rumors. Okay, and we might have to have a battle between the obsidian orb of knowledge and the Rubik's cube of knowledge. So that will be like maybe for a future time. Okay.
There is no crystal cubes and only crystal balls. Cubes don't fit in the containers made already. And there's only one crystal cube, the Tesseract. And we all know how that went.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You know, with knowledge like that and logic like that, Alex, we'll just stick with the obsidian orb is what we'll do.
We have a great advisor.
Yes, we do.
In Alex
Yeah.
He's
Shazam.
wise beyond his years.
No one wants another snap.
No.
No one wants another snap.
Thank you, good wizard. Thank you for your assistance and your knowledge today.
So, I'm waiting for you.
For my final trick,
Oh.
again, I will disappear.
Oh, we have a mighty wizard.
Harold, can we give him some applause?
For the great dragon wizard Alex. Yasha.
Yasha!
Yasha.
Oh,
That's
I don't
so-
even know
that's
where
so
we're
good.
at. I'm so far
That
off.
is
I'm
so
far off the path.
fantastic.
Harold, could you please help us?
Their Majesties summoned into their court the Honorable Lady Mairead Brightmore.
Why don't we have both of them into the court, please? Both of the
Their
Brightmores.
Majesties also summon the Honorable Lord Kenneth Brightmore.
Had to go a long way.
Hello, dear friends.
It's good to see you.
It is so good to see you. And it's wonderful to see you outside because I think of you both in service as you have been for the kingdom many, many years and many, many times outside and assisting us in various feasts and setups and all sorts of various acts. So we would like to honor the service that you both have done for this kingdom. Harold, if we could start with Lady Mairead.
See, read, hear, and know by these presents that we, Felix, king by right of arms of the Middle Kingdom, and Madalena, our queen, are mindful of the time, labor, and love that Mairead Brightmore hath most freely given to the Middle Kingdom by her unrelenting service. for her help and support of SCA events like SCA and Middle Kingdom 50 Year, the Queen's Tea, state dinners, being sous chef and a mentor to others at uncountable events, and for being baronial exchequer for the last 5 years. We are minded to make her a companion of the Order of the Dragon's Heart.
Nice, lady.
Scroll by Lady Leodin Lyon.
That is lovely. That is lovely. And look
So-
at the little cook pots.
So if we could see them really quick. I have a couple words for them. That their camera's turned off.
Or she's not spotlighted. They might have to make
I-
a noise. You might have to say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
There we
we go.
are.
So
Oh, okay.
I have a saying. You know, I there's a lot of things that I'll do for people, but if I feed you, that means I really love you. I care about you, and so that speaks to your qualities. And because food is sustenance, it's one of the things that helps sustain us. And if you're going to take the time to feed somebody, it shows that you love them. And you have fed so many people, and you've done so many things. And we can never tell you thank you enough. This is just a small way to say thank you. We are in your debt. This kingdom is in your debt. And we just wanted you to know that.
You showed your love to this kingdom, to other kingdoms, to royals and people who are not of any rank or at all. And you shine with that love. And we love you. So thank you so much. Oh, good grief, lady. I love you so much. Thank you.
The other side of that is you've performed a job as exchequer that is thankless work. But we need exchequers for the society to function. We need officers. And this is a theme that we have asked for people to step into. Please become a regional officer. Please become a local officer. Learn the tasks so that you can continue to help the kingdom function. Our kingdom is enormous. Most of our regions are bigger than most kingdoms. People don't realize that. And it takes a tremendous amount of work. And if we don't have people like you, this kingdom will not function and it will not survive. So thank you.
Thank
You are just a wonder and a joy to us all. Thank you. Yasha
Lady.
for her ladyship.
For her ladyship Maraid, Yasha.
Yes.
And because we love you both, and there has been so much support given to the kingdom and his lady in support of her goals.
Specifically, Winter Rebel, which is near and dear to our heart because that's where we decided to start our venture in life. And we know that you've done many things, and I'm not going to tell all your secrets, but we know, and we know what you've done, and it's important. And sometimes standing in the shadows and behind the scenes is the way to go. And sometimes it's not. And we're going to pull you in the spotlight. And Harold?
Due commendations and greetings from Madalena, Queen of the Middle Kingdom, and Felix, our King. Right mindful of the high esteem in which Kenneth Brightmore is held by our kingdom and ourselves, and in acknowledgement of his exemplifying courtesy to all levels of the society, are pleased to show him this sign of the Queen's favor. To wit, we bestow upon him the award of the Doe's Grace. We wish to recognize his unrelenting service to our kingdom as Domesday, Baronial, Regional, Kingdom, and Emergency Exchequer. We have noted his support of our Canton of Three Walls and willingness to travel to do good service, his service as autocrat of Winter Rebel, and his support of Border War.
Awesome. Thank you.
Scroll by the Honorable Lady Sido of Brittany.
Very nice.
Oh,
Very nice.
that
That's
is
lovely.
lovely.
Your Lordship? we've spoken of your qualities. And again, we would just thank you, and we would encourage you to continue to be an inspiration to this kingdom and the society. A theme that we have continually spoke on is hope and kindness, with an emphasis on kindness, especially how we are continuing to try to get through the day. So you are an example of what we need, and we thank you.
Your inspiration has just touched my heart. Last year, you assisted an entire barony and didn't even attend Pensick War, but you came up and helped and set up. And in your character and your love for the kingdom and the inspiration you have in your local area, it's just unparalleled. So thank you so much. We just love you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have our leave to go.
For his lordship, Kenneth. Yasha.
Yasha.
Yes, definitely. Honor, I believe we have a final performance.
Yes, Your Majesties. So our final performer is going to regale us with tales from where he hails from. And I do believe that everyone should pay close attention, as these stories sometimes have some nuggets of truth in them, if I do say so myself. Count Nikolai is here to tell us a story. Count Nikolai, if you would, please take it away.
Fantastic. Weird Russian tales.
There'll probably be some slaying and some killing, and it'll be awesome.
Thank you, Majesties. When I was asked to read a Russian fairy tale in your court, I was told the only prerequisite is that it was nothing sad, which made me ask, have their Majesties heard any Russian fairy tales?
Yeah,
but,
we knew it was a challenge.
I dug through my library and I found one that I believe has a happy ending.
Oh, well, let's hear it, Your Excellency. We are excited.
This story is called For Honor. There once was a poor old peasant man who lived with his poor old peasant wife. Their life was one of drudgery and suffering. They had no sons, but one daughter. She was pleasant and fair, and it is said that her voice was so delightful that the very songbirds in the forest would stop and listen to her sing. Her lovely songs were the only thing that brought joy to the peasant couple. One day, Baba Yaga was traveling through Russia and heard the lovely maiden singing from afar. "Aha," said the witch, "there is a joyous noise that lightens even my black heart." And she swept down in her magic pestle and snatched the maiden away, flew to her hut, and imprisoned the maiden in an iron cage above the stove. The peasant couple were distraught. The man wept copious tears until his wife finally scolded him. "What good are your tears you lay about? We must seek out our daughter and return her home. But what can we do against a powerful witch? Baba Yaga would roast our bones and still our daughter would be lost." The wife saw the wisdom in her husband's words. "Then we must appeal to the Tsar to give us aid." The peasant couple lived in the countryside on the border of three great tsardoms. To the north was the kingdom of diamond and gold. To the south lay the kingdom of emerald and silver, and in the middle was the kingdom of ruby and alabaster. The old man began to tremble in fear at the thought of standing before an all-powerful Tsar. "But what if they do not heed our plea and cast us in the dungeons?" he said. "Then our entire family will be lost." "Have you no honor?" chided the old woman. "Go and hide behind the stove then, you rabbit-hearted fool. I will go to each kingdom in turn until our daughter is returned." At this, she took her traveling cloak down from the peg, shook the moths from it, and set off. She traveled for a long distance, or a short one, until she arrived at the gates of the kingdom of diamond and gold. The entry was guarded by a huge bear with golden fur and glinting diamond eyes. He reared on his hind legs and growled, "Why do you come to this city?" "For honor," the old woman replied. The bear, knowing there was no greater obligation, lay down beside the road and allowed her to pass. Soon the old woman made her way to the court of the Tsar, who was accepting petitions. The Tsar glared at her and said, "What brings you to my court, old woman?" "My only daughter has been taken by Baba Yaga, and I beseech you to send your bravest knight to bring her back home to me." "And why should I do this?" "For honor," the old woman replied. The Tsar, who was known to be a selfish, wicked man, only sneered and said, "What good is honor? Does it bring gold to my coffers? Does it bring wheat to my granaries? Does it bring victory to my armies? Begone and trouble me never again with your trifles." The old woman was not disheartened, but immediately set off to the kingdom to the south. She traveled many versts until she came to the gates of the kingdom of emerald and silver. There, a giant silver boar with emeralds for eyes stood guard. He snorted mightily, pawed the ground, and bellowed, "Why do you come to this city?" "For honor," the old woman replied. The boar, knowing there was no greater obligation, sat down upon its haunches and allowed her to pass. She came to the court of the Tsar and pleaded for an audience. The Tsar sat upon his silver throne and asked, "Why do you come to my kingdom, old woman?" "My only daughter has been taken by Baba Yaga, and I beseech you to send your bravest knight to bring her back home." "And why should I do this?" "For honor," the old woman replied. The Tsar, who was secretly a craven, swallowed and said, "Were I to send a knight, then my own kingdom would be unprotected. No, I cannot help you, honor or not. Now begone, and do not trouble me further." The old woman was not discouraged, but set off to the kingdom in the middle. She traveled over many hills and many rivers, and she stood at the gates of the kingdom of ruby and alabaster. There, a giant dragon with flashing ruby eyes guarded the entrance. It flapped its fearsome wings and roared, "Why do you come to this city?" "For honor," the old woman replied. The dragon, knowing there was no greater obligation, flew away, allowing her to pass. She came to the palace and saw that the Tsar and Tsarina were entertaining in the courtyard. She came forward until the Tsar noticed her in her dusty clothing. "You have come a long way, little grandmother," the Tsar said. "Let my attendants offer you a cool drink, and while you drink, tell me why you have come to my kingdom." The old woman took the drink, then said, "My only daughter has been taken by Baba Yaga, and I beseech you to send your bravest knight to bring her back home." "And why should I do this?" "For honor," the old woman replied. The Tsar, who was a man who understood the importance of honor, immediately set for his bravest knight, a giant of a man from a foreign land. The Tsar addressed the knight, "Good man, will you undertake a quest to return this woman's daughter who has been taken by Baba Yaga?" "I shall," the knight replied. "But first, you must throw a feast in my honor in which the only food served is soup." The Tsar arranged for such a feast within the hour. The royal chef prepared a dozen different soups. The old woman was allowed to sit among the assembled nobles, knights, and boyars. As the dessert soup was being served, the knight suddenly stood and announced, "I shall now begin my quest. But first, everyone at table must give me your soup spoons." And he collected all the spoons, put them into a sack, tied the sack shut, mounted his horse, and set off. The knight rode deep into the forest, where he found a hut atop chicken legs. Little hut," he said, "stand with your back to the forest and your front to me." The knight entered the hut and found the lovely maiden imprisoned in a cage that hung above a simmering pot on the stove. "Ha ha!" cried the witch. "You have come just in time, for I need some tasty meat to flavor my soup." But as Baba Yaga was reaching out with her bony claws, the knight said, "Here, little grandmother, let me help you set the table." And he took the sack of spoons, untied it, and tossed it to the ground, casting spoons all across the floor. Baba Yaga stopped in her tracks and began to count the spoons, as was her way. The brave knight took the maiden from the cage, put her behind him on his horse, and sped out of the forest as if being chased by Tartars. As they rode, the fair maiden began to sing a song of freedom and joy. The music surrounded them, and the maiden and knight fell deeply in love. At long last, they returned to the Tsar's house, and the maiden was returned to her mother. They embraced and wept openly, and even the Tsar and Tsarina shed a tear upon their thrones as they witnessed the reunion. After a time, the Tsar saw that the old woman had not departed for home. "Little grandmother," he said, I have returned to you your daughter, and it appears you have gained a son-in-law in the bargain. Honor is satisfied. Is there a reason you linger? The old woman knelt before the mighty king of the Middle Kingdom and said, yes, your majesty, if I may be so bold, there is one more thing. What is it? The Tsar asked.
Your majesties, I beg a boon.
Ask, and if it is within our power and a proper thing, it shall be yours.
I ask that you elevate my apprentice, Honor von Otzinger, to the Order of the Laurel for her excellence in bardic and performance arts.
Call forth the candidate.
Oh, you guys are sneaky.
Here hails in at the hall door a woman most wonderful, brilliant bard of Byzantine beauty and boasts, stalwart sergeant and sweet singer with dragon-sharp teeth, the most in the world's mold of measure. Honor builds and buffers with light most abundant. Dread darkness is driven away and the dragon shines. The most of the Midrealm we mean her to be. From the whole of her heart and her hands held out, she makes admirers of acquaintances and begets excellence everywhere. All agree in ethereal lands, dear Honor see, as we here stand, our love for thee.
Dear Honor, in every journey, there are those who give us what we need. Some give us confidence in our art and a greater understanding of our place. Some transport us back in time through their own recreation. They support us in our journey through all the mountains and valleys of our lives. And they remind us of the solemn commitments we make to each other, to the society, and our service of it. We call Count Nikolai to speak for Honor.
Thank you, your majesties. As royal peer, it falls to me to speak on Honor's nobility. In this, I perhaps have the easiest task of all, for Honor effortlessly carries herself with noble bearing. Not the arrogant, aloof manner that is so often mistaken for nobility, but rather the open-hearted expression of love that is the true hallmark of a noble person. Honor cares deeply for her kingdom, her family, and her chosen family. Her commitment and caring for others comes across in all her actions, in her music, of course, but also in the way she treats everyone of high station or low with a selfless, giving manner, and always, always with a smile. To me, this is the purest expression of nobility, and for this, I commend her to you highly.
That was well said, Your
Thank
Excellency.
you, Your
Thank you.
Excellency.
We call forth Dame Eleanor von Etzinger to speak for Honor.
Oh, you sit down. No, you sit. Thank you, Majesties, for inviting me into your court today to speak on behalf of Honor. Honor has been serving the kingdom for over a decade now. She has served in capacities for the barony as their Minister of Arts and Science. She has served as Regional Minister of Arts and Science. She has taken upon herself 2 terms, 2 reigns as Kingdom Bard. When this quarantine happened, our world became rather dark. And there was loneliness and sadness. You know, when people tried to keep things together, but one person who jumped right in and decided to knit our hearts back together was Honor. Through her bardic symposiums, she has literally connected not only this kingdom, but if you have caught them, she has connected the entire realm, the entire SCA, from Locac to the west, from the east. She has brought everyone together. She has literally been the light punching through this dark time, a service that for most of us, we probably cannot comprehend. I recommend her highly to you to be admitted to the Order of the Laurel. Thank you, Majesties.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. We called her Sir Jamie von Atzinger to speak for honor.
Your Majesties, Jamie von Etzinger, Knight of Society, Baron of your court, and I would speak of honor's prowess. I could speak of her skill at arms as knights often do. She's a sergeant in your army. She's earned a dragon's teeth for her exploits in war, but I would rather talk about the knightly courage and skill she shows for her art. She is, in her art, putting herself in situations where the difference between renown and infamy lies solely in her skill. It's the same kind of bravery that I see in any deed of arms, in any tournament, in any battle. And as my lady pointed out, that boldness extends to her service as well. She was saddened that she would not be able to participate in the bardic circle at Pinzik, and took it upon herself to reach across the known world to places where her station and her name may not carry the same weight, and make it happen. That is the boldness of a peer. Now, I've known Honor since before she had that name, and she's been a boon to my life, a boon to my family, my barony, and the society, and she will be a boon as a peer to this realm. I cannot recommend her more highly.
Well said, sir. You know the respect and love that I have for you. And those words weigh heavy upon us, and we acknowledge that counsel. We call forth next Master Thomas to speak on behalf of honor.
Your Majesties. Turn that on. Camera doesn't want to work. There we go.
It's good to see you.
Thank you, Your Majesties. Your Majesties, I am Master Thomas van Driel, companion of the Laurel, hailing from your barony of Sternfeld. And as of late, my ability to remember the words that I have written seems to be slipping. So if I am not looking directly at you, it is because I am reading the words I have written, or because I am not trying to cry on behalf of my friend.
Oh.
Your Majesties, I wish now to speak of this lady's worthiness as an artisan and more. Honor has taught several classes, some of which I have had the pleasure of attending. Even though my original study mundanely was in music, at each instance, I have learned from this lady. She certainly teaches, which is a requirement of being a Laurel. While music is her primary focus in our society, she does so much more. Sewing and dance being some of the most visible of her other arts. She is indeed diverse in our artistic activities, which is also typical of a Laurel. There is something, however, that stands out far more that I believe makes her worthy of this accolade. I have spent many years traveling and performing throughout this known world. And many years ago, I had reached the point of burnout. I had lost the fun and magic that the SCA represented to me and took an extended break. When my wife and I decided that we wanted to explore returning, one of the first events we attended in the Midrealm was an ANS competition where I was first exposed to this lady's talent and spirit. She competed with several musical entries, and I was stunned. Not only does Honor have a beautiful voice, but she did something I had never personally seen done in an SCA ANS competition. With every entry, she literally set the stage, physically, props, background, everything, a separate costume for each entry. Every single piece was a complete entry trying to recreate the aspects of our history. As I watched her that day, she literally had me on the edge of my seat with each performance, appreciating every aspect of what she brought. And her commitment and zeal reminded me of the reasons I first entered performance in our society. Your Majesty, she inspired me, and our family began to get involved again. We started to find that magic in no small part because of Honor. For years since then, I have watched her commitment. She continues to perform, has been Kingdom Bard more than once, including now. She has gone out of her way to encourage others, hosting more bardic showcases live and virtually than I have ever seen any other individual do. even at events where she scheduled such a showcase, a live event where no one showed up to perform. She was there performing and continued to encourage others going forward. In every interaction, she was smiling, even when it was obvious that she was exhausted, and she has always been uplifting to everyone around her. With 30 minutes of preparation, we did a duet, and you would have never known that this lady hadn't been working on it for an extended period of time. This ability to adapt, to adjust, to learn, and immediately perform at a professional level demonstrates as well her mastery of her art. Your Majesties, to this day, she is one of my performer inspirations. She makes me want to do more because of her example. And this is the mark of a peer. I truly believe she embodies my view of a peer by being a light bearer, showing the light and the path to others. And I could not be more proud to commend to your Majesty's honor as a companion of the laurel. She has now and has for some time been my peer.
Thank you, good master.
We call Sergeant Roberta Jose Alfonso Cafiano de San Fernando, Toledo, Ruiz, y Escalante to speak for honor.
Buenas tardes, Vuestra Majestad. I am the Sergeant Roberto Jose Alfonso Cayetano de San Fernando, Toledo, Ruiz y Escalante, Hidalgo in the Middle Kingdom, Sergeant of the Red Company, and I would speak for Honor von Atzingers. Your Honors, Your Majesties, if I may.
Please do.
I met Honor von Atzinger in the before times, years ago when I was but a young neophyte to our society. I remember traveling to South Oaken the night before Christmas tourney in the hopes of forming part of the Midrealm army by authorizing in heavy combat. It was Honor and Cedric who took us in and gave us shelter. She did so gladly, happily, openly, and with the kindness that would come to represent the ideal type of behavior as expected of all of us in our kingdom. In addition to those delicious bourbon marshmallows that she made, the first thing I saw Honor doing was preparing a lovely garb for Countess Serena back when she was the dread czar of the Midrealm. The first thing I heard was her singing. Ever since then, anytime I would hear Honor sing, it would be a special, peaceful moment. From her choral work to singing hymns in precise period fashion, Honor's skill and performance is only matched by her careful attention to period detail. I have full certainty that Honor's bardic is a shining light in our arts and sciences community, and I would honestly argue the same for our larger society as a whole. As we know that South Oaken has a vibrant and proficient bardic community. Flammacorum is a grand example of bardic performance. Many will also attest to the people of Ring Tribe, where stories of the great heroes of Celtic tribes weave themselves around campfires in the night sky. As the stories of Iron Age heroes decorate the stars, I would argue that Honor singing shines like the midday sun amongst the firmament. Her bardic is a jewel of this kingdom, Your Majesties. To that end, as a member of the populace, I can fully recommend that Honor von Atzinger be elevated into the most noble order of the laurel. Her voice flows like the silk she wears and is a gilded treasure to this kingdom. Her prowess in song, her teaching of history, saints and composers, her service to the bardic community at large, taken together, constitute a body of work that is worthy of the accolade. Honor von Atzinger is a peer, Your Majesties, and I don't recommend her to be elevated into one, but rather I ask that you recognize her as one. Thank you, Your Majesties.
Well spoken, like a Spaniard. Thank you.
Well done. Well done, good sergeant. Harold, summon our most loyal companions of the Order of the Laurel.
Masters and mistresses of the laurel, present yourselves before their majesties.
Noble lords and ladies, is it your opinion that Honor is worthy of elevation into the Order of the Laurel?
Aye.
Aye. You didn't say it.
Honor. Know that to wear the laurel wreath is to hold a sacred trust. That the obligation of the arts and the sciences will demand your efforts every moment of your life. As the wreath denotes the love of the muses upon you, so too should that love flow into all your efforts.
A laurel serves as an inspiration to all. A laurel exemplifies artistic talent at the highest degree. Know well that others will look to you for inspiration. Their spark is in your care. Your skill and knowledge are all not a hoard to be guarded, but a gift to be shared so that others can also grow.
Honor. A laurel must want to do good works, must be willing to do them, and will do them frequently and extensively. A laurel has foresight, audacity, and endurance. A laurel must be gracious and gallant always, letting honor be your guide. Rightly or wrongly, a laurel is taken as an authority whose words carry considerable weight, and this will be a heavy burden.
A laurel must love her kingdom and her province and fulfill most faithfully her feudal duties to her baron and her king. Her word must be dependable beyond doubt or question. Her art must be an inspiration. She must be generous to all. And always and everywhere, her actions must demonstrate the love of the muses in her works and deeds.
Therefore, honor, is it your wish to accept elevation into the Order of the Laurel?
It is, Your Majesties.
Your Excellency, Serena?
Hello, Honor.
Hi.
Hi. So 6 years ago, we met and had a year-long whirlwind adventure on an exciting reign. And then a year later, we made a commitment to each other to walk together as you sought your path to peerage. And you are already in all ways my peer and always my friend. So your apprentice belt, I can't see, are you wearing it? Would you please take off your apprentice belt and signify that that relationship between us has come to an end, but now we have a new relationship as Sister Laurels. And your belt, please keep and do with it as you will. Hopefully you will feel okay with giving it to one of your apprentices.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too, my dear.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Honor, right mindful of your service to the society and responsive to the wishes of your peers, we are resolved to create you a companion of the laurel, to stand as a beacon of the arts and the scientists for the society and for the Midrealm. Therefore, will you, Honor, give us your word to continue to fulfill the requirements set forth for the governance of this order, as you must surely have till now?
I do.
Honor, will you increase your labor nobly? Increase your talents as befits one of your rank, and seek to disseminate your talents and abilities throughout the society.
I will.
Do you promise to train any dependents you may have to serve as you have served?
I do.
Is there a medallion?
There is, Your Majesty. This is the medallion that was given to your laurel, Serena, at her elevation.
Oh. Don't worry about it.
Then take from our hands these symbols of nobility and token of our esteem. Wear them proudly that all may recognize your service as we have acknowledged it this day.
Is there a wreath?
There is, Your Majesty.
Wear this wreath as an outward token of your new station.
Is there a cloak?
Oh, what's that? It's in your cloak.
There is, Majesties. The Atzinger household cloak.
Yeah, it's real heavy. That's fine.
Wear these cloaks as an outward token of your new station.
Now swear your oath of fealty to the crown.
I don't have it memorized.
That's okay. Honor, we have provided.
Okay, I feel like I should kneel for this.
You wanna
bit.
kneel?
Yeah, I'm gonna kneel.
I'm good, girl.
All right. All right. I here swear fealty and service to the crown of the Middle Kingdom, to ever enrich the crown with my talents and abilities, to promote the diverse arts, to continue the instruction of my dependents, to increase the glory of the Middle Kingdom, and to be worthy of the wreath I wear. Thus swear I, Honor von Atzinger.
This do we hear and shall never forget, nor fail to reward that which is given. Fealty with love, service with honor, and oath breaking with justice. People of the Midrealm, we present to you Dame Honor, newest companion of the Laurel.
Yes, sir!
Declare that we.
Go ahead, good Harold, go ahead.
Declare that we, Felix and Madalena, King and Queen of the Middle Kingdom, in consideration of her singular excellence in bardic arts and her generosity of spirit in sharing with the society, are pleased to create Honor von Atzinger a companion of the Order of the Laurel, with all rights, privileges, and insignia pertaining.
For Dame Honor.
Dame Honor.
Good job.
Yes, job. So Honor, I'm gonna take a moment, okay? And I'm gonna speak to you directly, and I hope you don't mind that the kingdom is eavesdropping. So this was a very important thing for us to do. And we had originally said at the beginning of our reign with what was going on, we counseled then Their Majesties Sado and Inez to not do virtual elevations because they're that important. Well, there was nothing that we can do about that. And then we were Pollyanna about things. We said, well, surely by June or, things will be back to normal. And then time ticked on and reality crept into the picture. And then we said, well, we can do this at Crown. And then time is ticked on.
We'll get one reign, or we'll get one event.
One event. And then we're like, well, that's okay. We'll get one event and, we can do it then. Well, you have, like many people, you have moved on in your life and events have happened. And it would be unfair and extremely selfish to ask you before we have a vaccine to come to an event with a newborn and put yourself and your newborn child at risk so that we could selfishly acknowledge you as a member of the Laurel. And we wanted to take that weight from you. And over this time, it has been self-evident through the way that you have conducted yourself that you are a peer. And I don't get, I'm a man of passion. I don't get teary often. It's not that I'm afraid of tears or ashamed of them. They just don't suit me. And you have inspired me time and time again. And I have always looked to you, whether you knew it or not, as a way for me to be better as a peer. And you have inspired a king often, and you have inspired the society as well as the kingdom of the Midrealm. So I wanted you to understand why we decided to take the moment to do this virtually instead of in person. We owed you an explanation, and we owed the kingdom an explanation because we said, we shall not do these things. However, life has happened and we must move forward and we must set aside our needs or desires for the people of this kingdom like you. And so, Honor, I just wanted to tell you how great impact that you have had on all of us. And I just want you to know that. I just wanted you to know that. And I just wanted to take a personal moment to tell you how important you are to us in this kingdom and the society at large. And we wish you well as you start this new venture in your life. I'm not going to talk anymore.
We love you. We just think you're an amazing human being, and we thank you for all that you have done on this path. And we know that we are very proud to be the people who have the privilege to elevate you here, and for us to have our names on that scroll and say, hey, yeah, that's our peer. It means so much to us. So thank you for your service. Thank you for the service that you're going to do. It has been a wonderful journey thus far, and I can't wait for the rest of it.
Thank you, Your Majesties.
You have our leave to go.
We are planning it so that you're not overwhelmed, that if people would like to congratulate Dame Honor, to potentially open up the Zoom a little bit for a little while after court is closed.
About
We'll
what,
give
30
her,
minutes after?
yeah, we're gonna give her some time,
About 30
and the Zoom meeting will be posted on the Midrealm Facebook page, and so that you can join and everyone can give her congratulations.
And so, Honor, so a piece of advice is to peer the room, because there's going to be lots of people that want to congratulate you. You know, if you're doing this, you don't have to stay there all night. It's okay to say, hey, I'm only going to be there for 45 minutes or an hour. It's okay. Literally, it's okay. It's okay. Don't feel like you have to. And listen, if you're 30 minutes in, you're like, I need a bathroom break. You run to the bathroom, okay? You do what you got to do. You're like, hey, I'm having a baby. You guys need to understand. And like, you know, and Eleanor, she'll step in, or Cedric will, you know, he'll do, you know, he'll tricks and not as good as Alex, but he'll do something. You know, you have people that are around you. But listen, this is a moment of celebration, okay? So this is for you, and you need to do what you need to do. So if you're tired and you need to set this down for a little bit, it's okay. It's okay. So that's all. That's the advice that I have as a new peer.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you all for helping us make this happen, and thank you, Dame Eleanor, or Dame Honor.
She helped too. She helped too. She was a conspirator.
She was fantastic. She's been sneaky.
All right then.
All
Unless
right,
you have
Harold.
anything for us, you have our leave to go, and I want to address the kingdom.
Okay. Yep.
For Dame Honor, Yasha.
Yes. So it was emotional, y'all, as they say. But hopefully this court, it was longer than most of our courts. We hope that it was enjoyment for you. We hope that it was a moment of joy. And did you want to say anything? Because there was something that I did want to address. Do you want me to continue, or?
Please go
on. A couple things. So we covered this a little bit earlier on with some awards that we gave out. Please continue to think about becoming a local officer, a regional officer, a kingdom officer. If you have not attended a DEI class yet, I would strongly encourage all of you to attend one. It's so important. We learned a ton on you know, where we're at as a person, and how we can be better, and it just offers perspective. And those things make our community better. They make the kingdom better. They make the society better. Even if you're like, I don't need that stuff. Well, maybe you kind of do if that's your attitude. And if you're like, well, I've learned everything. Well, maybe you kind of may want to come and learn a couple extra things, because it's just an opportunity to see other people's perspective. And that's kind of really it, other than me telling you to tell them, love them.
Love you, Middle Kingdom. Thank you all for joining us today. I hope it helped your day. It certainly brightened our days.
Man, I'm going to need a nap after this.
Harold, please close our court.
There being no further business, here closes the court of Felix and Madalena.
I think we can